This is the free motion quilting tutorial for Heart Confetti. This design is stitched by first stitching a heart shape. You're going to return to your starting point, and then you're going to echo this heart shape. This helps the hearts really stand out from one another and not get lost in the quilting design. It's an overlapping design, so I'm going to travel stitch a little bit, and then I'm just simply going to stitch another heart shape, overlapping and ignoring the stitching lines of the first. This is why I bothered to do that little bit of echo stitching, so that way you can kind of tell the two hearts apart from one another and they don't turn into a big mess on the surface of your quilt. Overlapping designs are actually really easy, especially for beginners, because you don't have to worry too much about the rules of the design. The rules are very simple. All you do is stitch hearts. Overlap them, cross them, just stack them on top of one another. Move however you need to move to cover your quilting space with this heart-shaped confetti. And you're going to be able to stitch very quickly and move very fast, mostly because this is a very familiar shape to you probably. How many times have you drawn a heart shape in your life? And because you're not worrying so much about where you're stitching or how you're getting there, it's not an exacting design, you're able to focus more on just simply moving your quilt and making these heart shapes, and not so much on the perfection or the need to make everything all matchy-matchy. It's really a design that's going to work perfectly when you're doing all over quilting. So pick a quilt, maybe a Valentine's Day quilt or a quilt for a baby that just needs a big overall design so it can be quickly finished and given away. That would be a perfect quilt for this design because it would move so fast and it would cover the quilt with a nice texture that doesn't have to be very dense. You can see what this looks like whenever it gets quite dense on the surface of the quilt and you start losing those heart shapes. Well, on a big quilt or a baby quilt, even something small, you would be able to expand your heart shapes so that they were 4 or 5 inches and they would really stand out on the surface of the quilt and look beautiful. Here's what it looks like when you finish Heart Confetti. For over 250 videos on free motion quilting, check out daystyledesigns.com or freemotionquilt.com.